Hey everyone, Mark Marshall here from the ProAudiofiles.com and GuitaristMarkMarshall.com. Today I want to talk about a technique for fattening up a snare drum sound. Now, there's an old trick that many of us still use that we reamp a snare drum out through a guitar amp or a bass amp to mix back in with the original snare drum to just sort of fatten it up a little bit. It does something to the mid-range that kind of really makes it speak a little bit more. Now, that could require quite a bit of setup time, and also there's volume limitations for most of us living in apartments and project studios. Thankfully, now there's options that we could do this right inside of Logic. And I'm going to be using the Space Designer plugin and Rosen Digital Guitar Cab Impulses. Now, the Rosen Impulses were specifically designed for guitar, so you have Marshall and Orange cabinets and Fender cabinets. Each one of these impulses inputs a very specific flavor on the sound. Let's listen to the drum mix with the impulse in, and then I'm going to bypass it so you can hear it without the impulse. This is going to be off. Back on. This sounds a little fatter to my ears and almost a little bit more like tape. Let's get deeper into how I'm doing this. I opened up a Space Designer plugin on the snare drum track, and I'm going to solo the snare drum track now. Let's listen to that for a few seconds here. This is with the impulse in. Here is without. It's a pretty drastic difference. Typically when I use these impulse responses, I set the dry knob on the Space Designer plugin all the way down. That way I don't have any of the dry signal coming through. The reason for me is that sometimes I hear a little bit of phasiness when I have that really cranked up. A little bit of phase stuff going on there to my ears. It's okay if you have it just bleeding in a little bit, but often I just turn it out. Let's listen to this in the mix again. You could try this with a bunch of different cabs too. Right now I have an orange cab loaded, which I like. It's a closed back 4x12 cabinet, and it just does something nice to the mid-range. But let's preview a couple other ones really quickly here. Here's the orange. Let's try a mezzo rectifier. Let's try something that has an open back cabinet to it. Let's hear that in the mix. Bypassed. You can see it definitely brings out the mid-range. You can also try this using other drums and say maybe creating a duplicate track of the bass drum and affecting one of them with the impulse. You can get some cool lo-fi bass drum sounds.